Yep. We about to. Peace, 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 peace. We about to get this teaching started. Tap in, tap in, tap in. Tap in, tap in. Peace, 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 peace. Peace, peace. We about to illuminate some science real fast, brothers and sisters. Give me a minute for my people can tap in. I think I got the wrong glasses on. But I can see. Peace and love and light. On this beautiful, 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 on this beautiful Tuesday. How y'all doing? I know I'm doing very, very well. I hope you're doing very well. And if you're here to learn, you're more than welcome. If not, I'm just gonna block you. You say anything crazy on my page, I'm blocking you. I don't have time for our people to be playing ignorant still today. You will be blocked. I don't care if you're a male or female. Any ignorant stuff, you will be blocked. Because our people lost due to a lack of knowledge. Because we refuse to learn. We out here scared, operating on some dead gospels. Because you afraid. And I'm the truth teacher. I'm 99 degrees. It ain't nothing nobody gonna tell you that's how can I say? Nothing nobody can tell you is gonna trump what I'm saying. I guarantee that. And if our people are Masons and the Greek fraternities, they gonna lie. I love everyone. I love everyone, but a lot of our people is lost. They lost. Every God man in the biblical scripture had more than one wife. Jacob married Laban's 2 daughters, right? And then you got these people that be out on the corner preaching hate. They be trying to use that like it's a white person, literally. Like a table, if it's white, is white, literally. It has nothing to do with nationality. So I be laughing at our brothers and sisters. I say every God man in the biblical scripture had multiple wives. Research what I'm saying. Just research it, because we don't have any culture. Everything about our people is Americanized. And with all due respect, our black preachers, they took an oath not to tell the truth. I'm telling you. And if any of them get on my page, they know, because I got your charter. I got your charter. I'm telling you. And I don't care if you Islam or Christianity, I ain't rocking with that. I don't rock with no man-made colonizing crap. I did with my answers. I did with the science. I'm Tasawwuf. I'm Sufi. I'm not Orthodox. Before you had some man-made book, what did you have? What did you have? You had people like me, like Sheikh Mordine, Bamboo Falls. You had Credo Matua. You had medicine men like me, herbalists like me. And what y'all be seeing on social media, that's not polygamy. I call that, you might as well be what they call it, a swinger. It's a swinger, you know? That's a swinger. That ain't. Do we know what polygamy really consists of? You say the Jehovah's Witnesses has lost in court. They lie under oath. Let me tell you something about the Jehovah's Witnesses. My neighbor was a Jehovah's Witness. I got all their books. I got their little blue book before they took all the stuff out. In the little blue Jehovah's Witness book, The Watchtower by Rudolph, it said that they understand the YHWH. That's why they don't pray to GAWD, because that was a pagan thing. They prayed to God. And you hear the preachers be saying, and God, all the Jehovah's Witnesses know I'm telling the truth. I got their book. I teach this. They got a little blue book and they rewritten it, just like a lot of history books. Just like Google spent $25 million to convert books to ebooks, but I did it too. And a lot of books, a lot of the chapters they took out. And so the little blue Jehovah's Witness book, they took a lot of stuff out. I got the original. The original, they know the YHWH, they know the Technogrammaton. And then they say, well, we'll just say Jesus. Why? Because it's widely accepted. Man, miss me with that. That's cap. I'm telling y'all facts. I don't care how nobody feel. Our people to sit up here and lie to you because they took an oath. And then we worried about some other man. I don't care about no other man. I'm the other man father. All my European Masons, they sons of Muslims. Don't come to me playing no games. It's disrespectful. And I graduated from academia talking just like this. Let's see if I can pull something up real fast. Our people lost because they teaching hate. And a lot of these religious people, they act like their religion is better than theirs. When I say, man, y'all operating on a belief system. Playing. Listen, man. I don't mean nothing. I mean anybody that operate outside theyself. It can be Christians and Muslims. I ain't on nobody's side. I said it can be anybody that believe in anything outside theyself. That's true shirk to me. If it's Christian or if it's Muslim, it don't make me no difference. It don't make me no different. I'm not here when a person, I don't care if they're what skin tone you are or whatever. It don't matter to me. I tell people I'm Tasawwuf. I'm Sufi. Anything outside of my life is true shirk. The closest place I find God, Allah, is in my heart. I'm not no prejudiced person. I don't believe in that some other person made the other man. The creator made the bluebird, the red bird, the polar bear, the black bear, the grizzly bear. I ain't operate on that. And then if you understand, all that stuff come from the Jehovah's Witness stuff. That come from the watchtowers. That come from Rudolph. I'm telling you what I know. I'm not here to argue with no one. I said, why? And all my European Masons are sons of Muslims. They know it. All my European Masons, sons of Muslims. So I don't take disrespect from no one. Just like when a European Jew will say, calling them this is anti-Semitic, will you get on here and disrespect me too? I take it the same way. Because I don't come from disrespect. I come with scholarship. If nobody like what I'm saying, they don't have to be here. And I don't have to hold my tongue for no one. So when I tell y'all, our people subjugate us. I come from academia. My professor that I got my dual master degree from GCU, Grand Canyon University. My professor is a potentate out in Arizona. That's why I had to get my own charter, because I'm not going to nothing lower than me. I'm not no snowman. 32 and 33 degrees is nothing but snowman wisdom. That's when meteorology, that's when water freezes. They ain't gonna tell you about Jebel, Jeblim, and Jeblim, who's supposed to assassinate Hiram Abiff and had a jubilee. And it was only a certain person that was able to put the man back together with all its extremities, because it's the wisdom. And every Mason know this, except my you know what's. So it was a video out a long time ago, and they said that they said Africa was named after a European. What's the name of that video? Watch this. We're gonna clear this up with scholarship, and then I'm gonna clear some more scholarship for you. This stuff don't even take long. I do this with my eyes closed. And then they made millions off of it. And then all these people do is reinvent themselves again. Why? Because a broken clock is correct twice a day. I be telling people, I said, this stuff is fugazi. Why? Because the misnomer black man, they get sold anything. Because they operate on feeling. You don't operate on science and what's real. Why? A part of my brotherhood, I have a brotherhood. Regardless of creed, regardless of race, regardless of ethnicity, this is a brotherhood. This is a brotherhood. This ain't contingent on color. Why are they contingent on color? And most of my people would take me out. Hell, and a nigger, somebody that looked just like me, murdered my baby brother, Akil Jelani Goodman Bey. And most of my colleagues don't even look like me. The people that support me in real life don't even look like me. They Jewish professors. and Scottish Rite Masons that I met in my academic endeavor that assist me in getting my charter and my fraternity. And I lecture still today. So what was that video, y'all, that them brothers put out talk about some Africa was named after a European? What was that, y'all? Do anybody know the name of that? Watch how we clear this stuff up too, as y'all telling me. And just like how these celebrities be playing us, well, not us, y'all. Because remember, Kyrie Irving was talking about he a Hebrew to Negro, and then all of a sudden now he a practicing Muslim in Ramadan. You see how these people be switching up so fast on y'all? You ain't got to switch up, because you all that. You switching up. Why? It's to get people riled up. It's a joke. And then when they say they this and that, who's your imam? Who's your rabbi? These people be talking out the side of their necks, some basketball playing people. They don't have no background in what we do in our profession. That's why, to me, it's an insult. It's an insult. We let somebody, because they got some money or they play a basketball, to speak on your behalf of our spirituality, and this ain't their profession. This ain't their expertise. I tell my man man, go sit down and dribble a ball. And that's why the other man, they have their infrastructure. Why? Because they rabbis, they priests, they shamans, they medicine men is exactly who they are. Why we don't know them? Because why should we? Because they shamans, they medicine men, they sheiks, they rabbis is not no damn entertainer. Think about it. So somebody tell me that video that came out and everybody bought, and the brother was saying Africa was named after a European. I'm gonna see if somebody know, because people be know what I be talking about, and watch we illuminate this. Somebody tell me, what was the name of it? Video, and I think they said Africa was named after a European. Am I right or am I wrong? Somebody tell me. I think I hear my man pulling up. I got a guy that be making homemade wine that stay down the street. And every time I come home, he, ding dong, hey man, I made this up, man. I'll be like, thank you. Hey man, I made you a cutting board. I love my neighbors, man, because I be cutting their grass and stuff when I come home. So did anybody know the name of the video? It was a video. What was the name of the video? Somebody help me, y'all. Because I'm trying to make a point. Anybody know the name of the video on here? Anybody? Come on, somebody. Somebody. Anybody. Scream. Do anybody know? Come on, somebody. Come on, I'm gonna start doing raffles and stuff, because for people to start talking. Because I be seeing people, what they be posting on their page, acting like they know something. So can anybody tell me the video that the brother put out said Africa was named after a European? Because somebody sent me this, and that's when I did the whole lecture, and they were so ticked off. And they were ticked off at the group of brothers that brought it to them. Thank you. I said, what is the name of the video that the brother put out talking about Africa was named after a European? It was a brother, I guess. I don't know what he do, because I don't be following these type of people. People be telling me, and then I'll be like, that's Fugazi. It's a, what he say? No, no, not Leo Africanus. I said, it's a video out that these brothers put out, or a brother, I don't know, I'm asking, and he said that Africa, the continent Africa, was named after a European. What was the name of that VHS or that video or that docu-series, whatever it's supposed to be, and who put that out? Do anybody know? Do anybody know the name of that? Because I want to make a point. I want to make a point, and the point I want to make is people need to stay in their lane. And I already told you who come to play us, our own people. Somebody gonna name it real fast. VHS, yeah, he laughing. He said VHS. You know, I don't know, because it's a YouTube. I guess they were selling it because people bought it. Or it was a I don't know if it was a CD or a download. Anybody know the name of the docu series? I did say VHS, didn't I? That's old school. That's old school. Somebody said, "Am I a Moor?" Man, somebody asked me, "Am I a Moor?" On my YouTube channel, like, "Are you a Moor?" What you say, brother, babe? I got some of my other platforms up. I'm just who I am. I'm no one special. With all due respect to everyone on here. With all due respect to everyone on here. You know, I come in respect. I respect whoever anybody claim to be or want to be. But anyway, so my homeboy just hit me up, one of my muftis. He said, yes, what's your religious affiliation? I see, I gotta block this type of stuff. Cause a lot of that stuff is irrelevant, you know. And that's the thing. Like, man, I don't answer no stuff like that. Nobody asking me no semantics. So the name of the video. Anybody know the video, brother Bay? You know? My homie said Hidden Colors, Sheik. Hidden Colors. He said Hidden Colors is where they said Africa was named after a European. Okay, so let's deal with a little science. The title Africa did not come from Scipio, because that was his name, Africanus. Scipio Africanus. I can't even see. I gotta take my blue blockers off. The birth name of Scipio Africanus was Publius, Publius Cornelius Scipio, Scipio. You know, Publius Cornelius Scipio earned the title Africanus after defeating General Hannibal Barca. Remember? In the Battle of Zama in the Second Punic War. Remember that? And the Romans got the title Africanus from the indigenous Afri. Afri, the A-F-R-I. Remember the flush of God? Afri, or the Berber people living in the northern region of the Sahara Desert. Watch this. We're going to give a little wisdom real fast. Every nation, landmass, and continent has names that have evolved over the centuries. All of the names you think Africa was called in the distant past are only local names used by a few tribes, nations, and only refer to small sections of the continent. It's multiple ancient African sources for the word Africa, including the Berber word Ifri, I-F-R-I, and the Berber word Afer, A-F-E-R, which is the name of the Banu Ifran from Algeria and Tripolitan. Africa can also be derived from the Egyptian Af-Ru-Ka, the A-F, the R-U-I, the K-I, the K-A, excuse me, to turn toward the opening of the Ka. Y'all with me, right? Am I going too fast? Let me know. Talk to me. What'd he say? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, y'all, man. This is crazy. That's wild. I hope you don't do that. But anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. It's multiple ancient African sources for the word Africa, including the Berber word Ifri and the Berber word Afer, right? The Ka is the energetic double of every person, and opening of the Ka refers to a womb or a birthplace. Africa would be, for the ancient Egyptians, the birthplace. These and many other ancient sources, including the hieroglyphics. I'm going to break this drip down in a minute when I'm done with this. but it makes reference to the title or designation African. The first word, Afu, A-F-U, carries the meaning of house. The second word, Ra, is one of the names of the divine creator in Africa in general and Egypt. We use in the modern term Egypt in particular. The third word, Ka, carries the meaning of the soul or spirit. Remember when I say kumbaya, but that's a whole nother one. Stand up and arise, not no come by here. I'll teach that later too. And when you put it all together, you get the word Afruka, the AFU dash, the RA dash, the KA. Come on, somebody. If I was in the Christian church, they'd be putting money at my feet. But the meaning of Africa is the house for the soul or the spirit of the divine creator. And this word in this form refers to the land of the divine creator. And the Africans looked at our land as belonging to and created by the divine creator. So the Afrikani, a word derived from Afruka, also carries the meaning of house for the soul or the spirit of the divine creator, but in reference to the human being, the male in particular. Therefore, the plural form of Afrikanu with the U, which refers to all males, as houses for the spirit or the soul of the divine creator, Afru Rak Kinati or Kinit, is the female house for the soul or spirit of the divine creator. The plural form is Afu Rakt Kenat, which refers to all females as houses for the soul or spirit of the divine creator. This is the philosophy of the Africans, aka the Africans. The Africans, aka Africans, understood that all human beings, were the carriers and houses for the soul and spirit of the divine creator. And this information can be found also in books like Destruction of the Black Civilization, Great Issues of a Race, 4500 BC to 2000 AD. The book was written by Chancellor Williams. Africa was also called Akibulan, Mother of Mankind, and Garden of Eden. This name was used by numerous tribes and ancient nations, including the Nubians, the Numidians, the Carthaginians, aka Carthaginians, and people of Kush, aka Ethiopia. I'm gonna break this drip down later. However, we need a single name for the entire continent. We had numerous localized names, but there is no name that was used for the entire continent before Africa. Akibalan. Is Akibalan the original name of Africa? No. Akibalan is just one of the many ancient local names of Africa among the many ancient names. Among the many ancient names, you know? Let me get all these people that be on my page just talking. Jesus love you and all this stuff. I get that. I get that. I get all that. That's why I be saying you just gotta block people that don't respond. It shows the mental of a lot of our people. It be off. It be off. People be religiously nuts so. But no, Akibalan is just one of the many ancient localized names of Africa, among the many ancient names used to describe different areas of our land. Is Akibalan, which means mother of man. Akibalan has also been interpreted as meaning the Garden of Eden. Akibalan and Africa are two of the oldest indigenous names. The many names of our land were local and never referred to as the entire continent. Akibalan was used by the Egyptians, the Nubians, the Numidians, the Carthaginians or the Carthaginians, and the Ethiopians, aka Kush. Africa, the current misnomer adopted by almost everyone today, was adopted and used more widely and across many cultures to describe the continent, likely because of the way it's easily translated into many indigenous languages, the ancient Greeks and Romans, and as a result of the wide usage of the name Africa, came over time to use Africa to describe the whole continent. A few more examples of the indigenous sources for the word Africa. the Africa, Afarak, also known as the Ourigha, the Aourigha, were a Berber people who lived south of Carthage, North Africa. The term Afrik, Afarik, or Africa, were used to denote the land of the Africa. And the Phoenician root Faraqua, Faraqa, which suggests a separation, or in other words, a diaspora per se. The same root is found in some African languages, like Bambara. In the Sanskrit and Hindu, the root Apara, or Africa, denotes that which in geographical terms comes after, or in other words, the west of India. From the geographical position of India, the Asian country in which the East Africans established colonies, namely the Dravidian culture. Africa is the western continent. Another school of thought states that the word Africa comes from the Phoenician term, one of which means an ear of corn, which was a symbol of fertility in that region, and the other Pharika, Pharikih, which means land of the fruit. Other local names used to describe the land: Agora, Ethiopia, Korite, Ortega, Libya, Africa, Kemet, Kush, Nubia, Olympia, Gadaguana, Hesperia, Temeria, or Temir, and Oceania. And bottom line, Africa has many indigenous source names. So the question is, why do so many of our NBCs say Africa got its name from Publius Cornelius Scipio, who was given the abdomen, aka the nickname Africanus, after he defeated the general Hannibal Barca, and then he called himself Asiatic? Yet some of our NBCs never say Asia got his name from the brother of Scipio, who was rewarded for his victories in Asia with the abdomen Scipio Asiaticus. Lucius Cornelius Scipio, who was better known as Scipio Asiaticus, was given the abdomen, aka nickname Asiaticus, by the Romans, just like his brother was given a abdomen, aka a nickname Africanus, when he defeated Hannibal Barca. Because they take your title. You understand what I'm saying? The word Africa is an indigenous name used by a dozen North and East African tribes for thousands of years before the Roman Republic was even born. Rome got the name Africa from guess who? Africans. So no, Africa is not named after any Romans. I don't care what nobody sit up here and say. That ain't scholarship. Even if you do not know the many indigenous words and meanings which translate to Africa, it should be obvious to you that Africa is not a European word. It can't be. There are not European cities of towns called Africa. If Africa was a European word, there would be other places named Africa. You know that. New Age NBCs will falsely tell you that Africa got its name from the Romans. And when they put that video out, I'm like, oh, this is sad. Propaganda. That's a lie. I've proven this a plethora of times. And the people spreading this do not know history. And some of them do know the truth, but choose to spread the falsehood to you. You see how easily this can be fact-checked? And that's who people follow. Africa is not a European word. And it's not named after no Roman whose name was Cornelius Publius Cornelius Scipio. And there are multiple ancient African sources for the word Africa, including the Berber word Afar, I-F-R-I, and the Berber word A-F-E-R, Afar, or Afir, which is the name of the Banu Ephraim from Algiers and Tripolitan. I told y'all this. And Africa can also be derived from the Egyptian Afru-Ka, to turn toward the opening of the Ka. And the Ka is the energetic double of every person. An opening of the Ka refers to what? The womb, or the birthplace. And Africa would be, for the ancient Egyptians, the birthplace. These and many other ancient sources, including the hieroglyphics, make reference to the title or designation Africa. Come on, my brothers and sisters. The Roman general who defeated Hannibal was named Publius Cornelius Scipio, and he was best known for defeating Hannibal at the final battle of the Second Punic War, 218 and 202 BC, at Zama, a feat that earned him the agnomen. You know what an agnomen is, right? It's a title or a nickname. His nickname became what? Africanus. Scipio was also called by his nickname, the Roman Hannibal. He was called Africanus because he defeated the greatest African general of all time. And Rome did not create the name Africa. And anyone who claims they did is mistakenly or purposely a liar, and the truth ain't in them, for education purposes only, with all due respect. Because if I say something crazy on TikTok, you're suspended for 3 days. Like I said something wrong. That's why I tell all y'all, follow me on my YouTube channels. It's my name, Khary Agna Hakeem Goodman Bey, and follow our Temple and School YouTube page at Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. Africa is not named after any Roman. The Romans named themselves after us. Africanus is an agnomen, which is an agnomen. You may ask, what is it? What is an agnomen? You should look that up. To be clear, Publius Cornelius Scipio was given an agnomen for defeating a general named Hannibal Barca. And an agnomen given to Publius Cornelius was Africanus. And Publius Cornelius Scipio was given the title Africanus. Many thousands of Romans and Africans were given the agnomen Africanus. Roman naming practices varied greatly over the centuries between the founding of Rome to the early Middle Ages. The practice of the elite during the period between the mid-Republic and the early Empire has come to be seen as the classical Roman naming convention. And this is likely to be because this period provides good evidence of naming practices of the best documented classes in the best documented Roman period. Remember this? The copy Jew. Listen clearly. And by the end of the Republican era, a name for an aristocrat, male citizen, comprised 3 parts: the trinomnia, the praenomnia, which is the given name, and the nomen, or the nom, or the nomen, which is the Gentile or the simple gentilicium, being the name of the gens or the clan, and cognomen, the name of a family. When I talk about your coat of arms, your family crest, a family line within the genes. Sometimes a second or third cognomen called an agnomen was added. Watch this. The nomen and later the cognomen were virtually always hereditary. During the imperial period, the number and options for elements within a name considerably increased, and the naming conventions for the later period grew out of a desire to indicate status, connections, and ancestry, and in a way that was much more wide-ranging than could be shown by the trinomnia. I hope y'all following me. I can go on and on with that breakdown, but you understand. Pseudo-Probus used the hero of the Punic Wars, Publius Cornelius Scipio Africanus, as an example. I broke that down. Men's personal names are of 4 types: prenomen, nomen, cognomen, and agnomen, right? I'll break that down for you. So I'm not going to stay all in that. I gave you the wisdom. I gave you the keys. So when anybody coming with that, that's a wrap. It should be over. Now, I gave you ancient other names of Africa. Now watch this. I'm going to give you something to research. Oh, I should have got my paper. I should have got my paper. I'm gonna go get my paper real fast. Because I want y'all to look up this word. It's gonna blow your mind. I'm gonna have y'all look up a word. It's just like when all them people be talking stuff, and I say, you don't have to argue with me, because people that look just like you, like it's a professor named what's that professor name? Where's his name at? It's Jesus in the Talmud. I forget the professor name. His name will come to me. And oh, Dr. Schaefer, Dr. Schaefer, Dr. Schaefer, and he's the head of the Judaic studies at Princeton University, and he authored a book called Jesus in the Talmud. And in the Talmud, they talk about Jesus like he works it in the N-I-G-G-A. I'm using this beat all day. And these the people that look just like them. So when I be like, dude, why you mad at me? I'm a scholar. I'm an educator. I got the same degree as them. So when people be talking that, I say, okay, well, let me go get one of these Jewish people that study the Talmud, and you ask them that look just like you, that's their neighbor, and you be hi, and they be promulgating that your God, your in the flesh, is from a bastard a relationship, and Mary was a you know what, because his father was a Roman centurion and terror. That's what they say. And they say he practiced sorcery and adultery. That's what they say. Research it. Research Jesus in the Talmud. ah, and then before I even get into this, when people be trying to quote Flavius Josephus, they be trying to quote Flavius Josephus or the Piso family. I'll be like, that's all made up from scholarship. I already done did this. I'll be like, okay, you can feel however you want about it. But when I come with the facts and break it down and say, okay, this is all made up. All this stuff that you think is made up. This person, this family injected himself and all that. I already done did this in academia. So when people be arguing over things, I said, okay, well, you need to be arguing with your own best buddy that you drinking beers with. Can't be mad at me. Can't be mad at me. I told you I illuminate all this stuff. Why? Because I've been introduced to everything, and I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. Can't nobody come to me with no lower level snowman wisdom. I'm not buying it. I told you I don't gravitate to know nothing outside of myself. I don't care if you that or that. That's not, I don't rock with that. I don't rock with no hate, because I'm going to show you where all your science come from, and the people going to get mad. Why? Because they should be. Because they promulgating hate. You don't promulgate hate. You promulgate wisdom and light. When I tell you Neville Goddard, he got all his science from the Ethiopian rabbi Abdullah. When I tell you that a lot of the stuff, and I love my Nation of Islam brothers, a lot of that stuff come from the watchtowers. A lot of that stuff, when I tell you the Red Book to the Lost Nation of Islam, to the so-called Muslims here in America, and I tell you that come from the World Almanacs, word for word, and today it can't be valid. Why? Because the world changed. You can't get mad at me. Can't get mad at me. I can show you where all that stuff come from, word for word for word. Who you gonna be mad at? You can't, because you haven't been introduced to the science. I can show you all that stuff come from a lot of the watchtower stuff. And this was during the time when both of the figures was in Detroit. Can't get mad at me. I'm telling you, it's just there. Like Heinz ketchup. It's in there. Oh, it's in there. So I'm gonna have y'all research your word. Because you remember how I just showed y'all the synchronicity of these two things coming together, the Africani. Now remember, in biblical scripture, they don't want to tell you about Anaseth and Joseph. Because then you got to get with who? Mizraim. You got to get with Memphis and Mizraim. You gotta understand the story of Anaseth and Joseph. I break things down esoterically when I say we could stick a fork in everything. I'm telling you, man. I've done this with all respect. So I'm gonna have y'all research a glyph, and then you tell me what you get, and then I'm gonna break this other piece down. What my homeboy say? He said if they like, man, you crazy. He said if y'all like what Sheik said, give him a donation. He like the man be work, man. Those he be my partner. Thank you for the donation. Well, you can get on there and say it. He said, man, he said all his brother information on there. Man, people should at least give something. He can send y'all wisdom, for you can at least have some gratitude. But thank you for the kind words, bro. I appreciate you as well. My bad. Hold on. Can you see? Yeah, cause I got it on my other phone, but I got it on that TV. Okay, I'm back. My fault. My fault, y'all. Okay, so back to some search. Write this down. I'm gonna take a quick break. Just like if we was in the church. All right, a brother gonna come down and get the offering. Everybody, this is the $100 line. This the $500 play. But I'm just having fun because I love what I do, y'all. Don't take me serious. Yes, you do though. Take me very serious. But HAKAPTAH. Did y'all get that spelling? Did y'all get that spelling? I'm giving you something. I'm giving you something real fast. Y'all got it? Tell me if you didn't get the spelling. Tell me. Say no. I ain't get it, Sheik, and I'm gonna spell it again. Cause the only time I'm gonna repeat myself is let somebody get it. Did y'all get the spelling? HAKAPTAH. I'm about to go give me some libations. I'll be right back. Where it take you? Where it take you, brother Bay? See the science I give you, man. There, you have to take advanced studies, like I did, to get all this. You have to have professors that got the hieroglyph and the metanetter and a lot of stuff that I have to be able to break stuff down. Cause I still ain't went all the way there. That's why I said I'll be waiting for somebody to come with false teachings. Cause most of the people that's not telling you the truth, they lower level Masons or they are part of a Greek fraternity. So it's always to give you truth and falsehood strangely mixed to rile you up. That's how this go. Now, when you research etymology, watch I break this down. Now watch the etymology. Watch this. I'm gonna teach you like when I said a map and a guide will get you there. Just like if you was a student and you were taking one of my civics classes, and everybody say when you look on it's a thing called Rate My Professor. You would go on there and all the students be like, man, you gonna have to take Sheik Khari Goodman class. Why? Because he was like, he gonna teach you, he gonna show you this, and he love what he do, and he love people. He gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach you how to learn. I'm gonna show you how to use your computer. I'm gonna show you how to use these things because we have it. All I have to do is be in tune, you know. Because if I'm not breaking them down, all people have to do is say no, and then I get off right now, and it'll be okay. But I bet you when y'all see me in a minute with teaching and going, and in other places, you'll be like, man, this stuff is valid. Why? Because the people that I'm teaching, everybody else think heavy. I'm just waiting for my people to come in. When I break down etymology, it's very simple. Etymology, origin, you have to know this. If not, then how you going to understand something? When a young European Albion troglodyte young man was on there, the scholar, and they asked him to spell niggas, and he said, can you give me the origin of the word? Could you put it in a sentence? Come on, can you give me the etymology of the word? Once he understood from the origin and from the root of the word, how did he spell it? How did the young scholar spell it? Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. So don't sit up here and tell me your understanding of words and don't mean nothing. When you would read something, you would read it literally, and I'll look at you and laugh, and all my European colleagues will look at you and laugh too. When I'll be like, that is not scholarship, and you know it, and they be passing it on. I just broke one thing down and told you what people passed on and sold a video. Talk about Africa was named after a European, and I just showed you. False. Look how simple that was. That ain't take nothing long. So watch this when we break down etymology. When things be enclosed and just like when you're doing mathematics, you have to do this first and read this first, or do this formula first before you get to the next. Understand what I'm saying? It's tools that be used to break down the cipher. Come on, everybody should know this. But from the HWT, when it's enclosed, to the ka or the ka plus the PTH, which is the the PTAH with direct genitives, constructions, thus literally house of the ka of ta or pa when I talk about Ethiopian and Egyptian. Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to give you another word to look up. You ready? As I'm breaking this demonstration down. If y'all with me, talk to your brother. AIGYPTOS. I said AIGYPTOS as I finish doing this drip. Pronunciation. Hawit Kurbita. You know? Hot with pata. You know? A pronoun. It's, you can see, and then the glyphs spell things. The temple of the Ka, of Pa, in Memphis, in Egypt, aka Memphis and Mizraim. I don't know what people be talking about. You see the glyphs. Like people be arguing. I say, anytime you can get an alphabet, we can sit in a coffee shop and do this stuff. And I did this in academia. Metamik, Memphis, Egypt. So the descendants in Akkadian, they have it. Ancient Greek, AIGUPTOS. And see the further descendants. Ugaritic, the Mycenaean Greek. You can research these things, and then when you be like, well, what do you mean? When I start showing you people in these land masses, when I show you who the ancient and modern Britons, when I show you what David McRitchie said, who's the ancient and modern Britons, when I show you what Swarty is, when we talk about Swarty Pie, when I show you what's going on in Europe, when the people would tell you a false history, I'm not going to argue with no one. There's no reason for me to argue because I did this in academia. I've already done my dissertation and my oral dissertation. I already said what I had to say. Now it's time for my people to come. You know, it's no argument with me. When, I ask a person, do you know language when you research things? And I say, okay, well, let's play devil's advocate. And I say, okay, did the follower of Yahshua wear a turban? Yeah. Did the high priest wear a turban with a jewel on it? Yes. Did they wear tunics, cotton or silk? Yeah. Did they wear bonnets, aka kufi? Yeah. 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 Did they have multiple wives in the biblical scriptures? I'm just, yeah. Can't get mad at me. I did it, yeah. Yeah. Did Jacob marry Laban 2 daughters? Yeah. 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 You know? Was Moses learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians? Last time I checked, last time I read it. So if Moses was learning in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, the mystery schools, so clearly that's the only thing he could teach Aaron. Yeah, and the Bible is clearly most of the book of the dead. But hey, I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not even gonna waste my time. Like, because it'll be a waste of my breath. I bet you if one of my European Mason colleagues got on here and they'd be like, yeah, they know it's the Osiris mysteries. They know it because they sons of Muslims. With all due respect, would you want to be a widow's son or a son of a Muslim? Which one would you rather be? Tell me. We're just right now in there. We're not knowing nothing. Somebody told you what a widow's son is with all that mystic stuff, and then the other man said why they're a widow's son and blah blah blah. Which one would you choose if you unbiased? I guarantee you would choose a son of a Muslim. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Because I sure would. And they'll tell you it's all about the Osiris mysteries. And they'll tell you it's all about the Osiris mysteries. It's all about the Osiris mysteries. I promise you. So when we talk about certain things and certain regalia, you have to talk to that person because a lot of things were adopted with different people. And when I tell people, I say, I'm not Orthodox. I'm not under no man-made religion. I'm Sufi. I'm Tasawwuf. I'm a shaman. I'm a medicine man. I go in all houses and teach. All my brothers are under the triple rose. They understand all the three religious rights. The Paraclete, the Fatimite, the Jerusalem. We're not unbiased. We're not biased with anything. We have a clear understanding. And we're not going to let no one tolerate and give us Eurocentric and Negrocentric propaganda based on how a person's belief system is. We're not doing that. Why? Because we don't have to. We don't have to. We don't have to. I did this in scholarship. Kumbaya means stand up and arise. So what? We don't have to be passive because we ain't out here doing nothing wrong. Them other people that got to be worried about that's on the internet teaching y'all fugazi, telling y'all to file this and all this. That's what you got to be worried about. I'm dang sure ain't worried about nothing. Why? Because I spoke like this in academia. I continue to speak like this on college campuses. All my European colleagues know this. My professor, he'll tell you, he European, he'll tell you he Anglo-Saxon. And he'll break down Revelations 3 and 9 and 2 and 9 and have you laughing. And then he'll get the what? He'll get the Anglo-Saxon dictionary and show you how to spell white and really give you a history lesson. You would be sitting there like, wow, did he just say that? Yeah, from scholarship. And be like, why wouldn't you know? I'm not coming from no biased perspective. I don't have that in my blood. Because all my colleagues don't look like me. This is what I be telling people. All my colleagues in my professional field, I graduated from Grand Canyon University. So I work with autistic kids and behavioral health therapy. In Arizona, there ain't nobody that look like me and do that. And y'all saw me on the news dealing in my profession. I mean, this is what I be telling people. And so I'm doing a lot of things on my own, and I'm in my city of Flint, and I'm building something, and I'm so close to getting our people, helping us build our infrastructure for our community center and our temple. How? With the money we giving Uncle Sam. And I give everybody a tax exempt receipt. I'm close. We have a full library, a computer lab, a safe house. When the kids out of school in the summer, they be able to come to the temple. During school time, if the parents working in the evening, they ain't just got to sit home and play the video game. If they part of the temple, we going to pick them up in our van and bring them to the temple. and give them all the learning that they need. I'm telling you, man. They're gonna have their schooling and be junior nobles and junior empresses, learn and structure. This is what I'm all about. So let me give y'all this before I get out of here, man. I'm gonna break this little science down because I hope y'all research those phrases. Everything I talk about, all the research that I do, if any of my muftis, one of my muftis, I think he on Facebook, but all my brothers will tell you, I share everything with them. All the research. When I go to these Gnostic libraries, when I go to the Philosophical Research Society, when I go to this ancient library in Detroit that I was introduced to by one of my professors, and I get to go in there, the library don't even be open. It's a crazy bookstore in the D. Been in Detroit forever. Got every Gnostic book, everything. My movies will tell you, they be like, I don't know how he be knowing about this stuff because what I'm into and what I've been introduced to. So I have a lot of things that was given to me. And like I said, I haven't even shared enough with my brothers because it's so much. It's so much. It's so much to, like, even my brother, like I tell people, we have 10 acres. What group of brothers that you can meet, when I say all these Moors be following me and everybody be doing things solo, what group of Moors you know have 10 acres? You can look them up right now in Kingsman, Arizona, and look up the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. Look up Khari Goodman Bay. Look up Lamarck Barclay Bay. Look up Malik Reed L. And see us right in Kingsman, Arizona on 10 acres of prime real estate. We could have been got our co-op garden. People could have been bought a quarter of an acre and we could have been doing something big, you know? And we don't have to do stuff locally, not locally, but we take things from our homes per se. And now we talking about farms. We are a farm. Now we can really do some farming. We can really invest in somehow. We are a community. We can be a community. So you got to be transparent. What you say, Sheik shares more than anyone I ever know. Gratitude, Noble Lamarck. But we have 10 acres. People know how to do this stuff. We transparent. It's like, no, you only can do a certain thing on farmland. You just can't build no neighborhood on no farmland. You got to be honest. So on our land, that's prime real estate, we can build on 60% of our land. So what you mean, we can build structure on 60% of our land. The rest have to be, farmland, nature. 60% is enough to build on a structure with brothers and sisters that can have, they growing their own fruits and vegetables. Where? In the middle of Arizona and Vegas with our own big greenhouse. What group of people doing that? What group of people right now, you can look it up right now and be like, yeah, them brothers own 10 acres of prime real estate. And I'm in my city of Flint, we getting property under the BBT. Some we purchasing for tennis shoe money, and I'm working on a lot of it getting donated to me as I'm working with a lot of brothers that I done met in Arizona to try to bring them here. So once I lock down on these couple bids, I'm gonna move people here. Yeah. Once we lock some bids down, I'll be able to move some of my people to the city that know how to do this stuff. Because I show y'all in our neighborhood is prime real estate. In the city of Flint, Michigan, is prime real estate. They're getting ready to gentrify our whole neighborhood. I've been having the blueprints forever. I said, oh, y'all don't know. They finna what? They finna push everybody back like they did when they built apartments. And now a lot of these investors, they buying a lot of this stuff up, especially in the downtown area. They just gonna build houses, and the houses they build, they gonna be rental houses. They not gonna be nobody gonna own nothing no more. Why? Because everybody moving out the neighborhood, and the neighborhood cheap. It's tennis shoe money. It's cheaper than somebody gets some fake Louis Vuittons off Temu. Hey, on the real. When these brothers talk about they Moors and they do this, and they know everything for our culture I provide. Everything, fezzes, turbans, tunics, everything, shea butter, fezzes, everything. Everything. We should be bartering together. And if you already got a small garden at your home, and don't you want to get with some brothers? And if you don't want to get with us, I can show you how to get your own. I'm a source. That's why I tell people I don't have to give no my information for free. When people be like, you should be giving this, no, I should. People paying to get hustled by these people riding around in a Bentley like it's theirs. So why I gotta give everything for free? Why? I don't ask nobody to pay me. Anybody know me, they be like, man, that man don't ask for you to pay him. He'll do anything. Get that man a small donation. He's an organization that's taxes him for the federal government. Support his temple and school. I don't charge nobody for no services. There's no services that I do, I charge. I say, give me a donation, and I'll show you how to do anything. You want to set your business up? I'll show you how to do it. Why? Because I have a business degree. I set people businesses up. So when people talk about real life, we have land. And this Moore has been following me for years. And the first thing we be doing is complaining. Oh, we ain't getting to do it. Well, how do this? The man do this and the man do this. I said, man, not with me. And I live in Arizona, which is a red state. Not with me. I'm a grown man. I'm 49. I travel all over the state. I dress like this with everything. Don't nobody harass me. Nothing. I know police, prosecutor, attorneys. Man, please, I done got awards, real awards. From colleges, I done lectured. You know, I done been to prisons, the hardest. I done been to the Thumb Correctional Facility. I done been to the boys' lockup. Man, come on, man. So, land, if you don't want to rock with us, I'll show you how to get you some land, you and your family. But why wouldn't you want to get with people? Hold on, this is my partner right here. Big bro. Big bro. You in Flint? Okay. Hey, bro, let me hit you right back, okay? Okay, I'll hit you back. My fault. That was my big bro. That was my brother. That was my brother in Vegas. He getting ready to come to Flint. My mufti knows Chavez. So me and my partner, like I said, we ain't rich people, but we put our little pennies together and we get this land. I go down to land bank and I'll talk to them. And some land they give me for tennis shoe money, and then some we got donated. So we own a few properties. You know, we got 3 properties in our city of Flint. So he's getting ready to come here. We finally met someone that can do this work. He's working with us because I want people to be investors. I don't want brothers just charging us, you know, for labor and then disappear. We're trying to build something. So as that bag come in, now the brothers that work with us, you would be the ones doing this. We building something. The city is for sale. And once we get our brick and mortar temple in our city and people put their money together under our religious and charitable contribution of your choice, and we can get tax, and everybody can get a tax exempt receipt, and then we use that to build infrastructure, man, it's a wrap. We use that to buy blocks and blocks of neighborhoods. Research a lady, she's in Detroit. I think it's Dearborn. Her name called Mama Sue. She owned the whole block. In my city of Flint right now, we can own a whole block. I'm talking about blocks. And when I'm telling y'all we have land right now, we can have a garden. So if anybody that's gardening and you want to expand, talking about, hey, we can put our greenhouse on there, have our big pole barn with our tractors and all that stuff in there, have a compound on there and really have something popping off. If we don't have to complain, we can really have something popping off. And then if people really serious about investing in houses and you a mason know how to work with your hands, I can start showing y'all all this stuff in the city of Flint, because I go to the land bank. I can go walk in and show you what the houses look like. I can go to all the viewings. So if you serious with that, man, you can be like, well, okay, well, I know this brother. I just met him here, and all this stuff you talk about is fugazi. This man going to all the damn house viewings from land bank, walking inside with his camera showing you all this, like, well, this and this, and the stuff. If you know how to do it, it'd be like 2,500, 5,000. Because I live in Flint, even though I live in Arizona, but I grew up here. I went to high school, so I know what to look for. I know what's communities. I know what land to look for. Most of all the land is good anyway, because the soil is amazing. And right now the city for sale and all the urban neighborhoods is messed up. And this is the time to buy. And if people know how to fix things up, or if the stuff is not fixable, you petition the city to tear it down. And then we own not just one lot, you own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all next to each other. That's yours. On the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then on some streets where it ain't nothing but maybe 1 or 2 houses, you own the whole block. I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling y'all real talk. And when we organized, it's a wrap. And when we organize, it's a wrap. And when you understand tax exempt status, when you understand that we tax exempt for the federal government, religious, charitable, or scientifically, or educational wise, it's a wrap. Because now we're a religious community. So now when we understand that the money that we're giving Uncle Sam is sitting in the private banking system, and you understand that we a private banking system, and we can give you a tax exempt receipt to claim on your taxes. But now to offset it, you got to be true with yourself and know how to manage your money. Because if you make, say, $100,000, and say, I'm just giving a number to show you that things is what it is. Say you make 100 grand, right? And you say, okay, I'm gonna give $100 to my church each month, which is pennies based off that money. You know, you make it. I'll say 200. I'll be gracious. I'll say 200. That's what, $2,400 a year. You make 100 grand, right? That ain't gonna put no dent in what you owe Uncle Sam, cause you would jack that off, you know. So most people that don't have no deductions. So when you don't have no deductions, Uncle Sam gonna bust you across the head. Why? Because you owe. You don't have no deductions. That's why most people, they donate. They give things away to offset their taxes. Like Oprah, she give away them cars, even though that's a good thing. But why you think she doing it? Just for the good? When they do that, when they give away those type of cars and they value them at a certain rate, that's a tax write-off. So just like when I be telling people things, when you in a high tax bracket and you don't have no deductions, you owe Uncle Sam. Why? Because that's the law. Now, if you part of your religious and charitable contribution of your choice, you can offset what you owe Uncle Sam. I'll give you an analogy. In California, you can give 60% of your earned income before taxes to your religious and charitable contribution of your choice. 60%. 60%. So say you owe Uncle Sam $1 million a year, each taxes. That means I can give $600,000 to my religious and charitable contribution of my choice, and all of my other rich homies can do it too. That say that we like what he doing. But then when you smart, you can itemize it and start giving to other places. Why? Because you got to know what I'm saying. And that's why Wesley Snipes got in trouble. Why? Because all these people be saying they part of this and part of this, but you tax evading. That's how the Jewish community be popping. That's how the Sopranos was popping. Everything went through the church. The church built the houses and everything. And then the priest, he have lawyer and client confidentiality. Only way the priest really got in trouble is when he really did some dirt. I'm trying to tell you. And misnomer BLACK people, they don't have that. Why? Because they have no rights in law. You will get subpoenaed. I'm telling you what I know. Why? Because most of them took an oath. No disrespect to nobody. No disrespect. So everybody got the opportunity to jump in, man. But I gave y'all that little drip. I don't even got to stay in that. I gave y'all that little drip. But we right here. What you say, Sheik shares more? Oh, we right here. No reason we should be dealing with each other. If anybody need literature, library, I have a full library with 1 million books and documents. Like, we should be dealing with each other. If you legit, if you got a kid that's struggling, autistic, ADHD, I'm a counselor. I got my homeboy, he's licensed, my boy Julius, for the state of Michigan. You have a business and it's not set up the right way, you can do a consultation with me for a small donation. I can show you how to set yourself up with your EIN, register you on the Duns and Bradstreet, you know? Register you on the Duns and Bradstreet, show you what articles of organizations are, show you what quick 30s are, show you all these things, and then you build your own line of credit up. How? By doing business. By doing business and being honorable to things when you register yourself on the Duns and Bradstreet. How? By daily operations. It ain't about selling nothing. It's about, you already, say if you have a business and say you got your articles of organizations, you would be able to say, okay, my business is getting, dope. Why? Because you can look up your business line of credit as you buying certain things with them quick 30 accounts and see it's building. And then it can stand on its own 2 feet. You know? You feel me? This ain't no fugazi. And so when I be telling people we don't have to complain, you know, you don't have to complain. Why? Because we right here, we can build as some righteous brothers. So if people say they want to build, they need literature, they need books. Y'all want to get with this land. What y'all want to do? Y'all want to get a piece of these acres we got? Cause we got 10. You want to get a quarter of an acre? I mean, what? You want to build? You want to go out there and be like, man, I'm gonna take my camper out here and camp. I own a piece of the world. Come on. I own a piece of the world with a group of brothers that's righteous. What if something happened right now and they say, everybody right now, you got to pack your stuff up. We giving you 24 hours to go to your land. And we got to fact check and make sure it's your land. And if you out in nowhere, you would be survived. But in the neighborhoods, you hit. Because you got to go out there and be in the tent. Where would anybody go? Or they say, hey, we're going to give everybody all these seeds and all this stuff. You got to have your own land because we about to blow this whole neighborhood up. Where would everybody go? Where would everybody go? That's complaining. Because all I see is a whole bunch of people complaining. And the ones that's really doing something, we get overlooked. We get overlooked. Why? Because people be thinking this sham stuff is real. Oh, you can file this and you can fake like you this and you can do this and your social security number is this and you can be this and you ain't an American, you a foreign national and all this and all this and all this and you don't have to have no license and you don't have to pay this and this is some corporate debt and all this and all that stuff. It's like we don't have to complain. We got too much power. We just have to get with the right group of people, and I'm right here. That's anointed and consecrated. We got a religious right, and we tax exempt for the federal government. Religious, charitable, contribution, religious wise. We just like the Girl Scouts. We like the Girl Scouts selling cookies and ding 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 and all that money. We the same. We got our own charter. This is what I'll be telling people. We tax exempt for the federal government. Religious, charitable, scientifically, educational wise. Everybody that donated, I can give them a tax exempt receipt. Everyone. And then when people donate, I have a real library. With 1 million books and documents. And I'm not just saying it. I did that in my academic career. If everybody know me, they'll be like, if my Muftis was on TikTok right now, if my Mufti Lamar get on here, he'd be like, man, and he'll just be going through the plethora of wisdom and his understanding of the science. And since he been doing this, and not only for his wisdom and his mental, but his wisdom for himself and understanding who he is, I guarantee you, because I know what it's done for me. So I know what it's doing for my Muftis, and they are grown men and fathers. I know what it's doing for them. I know what it's doing for them. Because I know what it's doing for me. So this is all I'll be telling my brothers and sisters. We got to stop wasting our money because we can get things a part of our culture cheap. When you part of a community, you get taxes and receipts because it's a part of our religious society. When you go on to Amazon buying our tunics and buying our fezzes, because you can get them, and our turbans and our shemaks, you can get them cheap. I don't think that's right. The bonus when you're dealing with the brothers and sisters, that's the society, is because this is part of our spiritual, this is part of our culture, this is part of our religious society. So everyone can get a tax exempt receipt. Why? Because you can say this is part of your culture. This is your religious regalia. The books, the tunics, everything that come with who we are. And then everybody that understand when you start doing things, you set yourself up the same way. As a subordinate temple. It don't have to be the BBT, but that's what my brothers do. But we can be brothers and we can do things. And we can say, okay, well, man, my brother's finna come in and give wisdom as he travel. As I travel to my Mufti's areas, what's wrong with that? We could have been doing that. And this is what I tell people is we not here to send no one in no burning house. I never teach nobody nothing that'll get them in trouble. Never. Because if I did, I wouldn't be able to be invited to the prisons. They wouldn't allow me to come in there and talk to them people if I was talking out the side of my neck like the rest of these people. They'll be like, man, get your crazy self out of here. I done met people in prison like, man, we be watching you all the time. They be like, you be snapping. But they're like, you be telling the truth. And he be like, we be needing to hear it. Because these people be in here with that crap. And then we played your video and he was like, the dang CEOs was cracking up. I'm telling you. I got homies that just got out the joint, did 20 years. Like, bro, man, I'm trying to tell you. He was like, bro, we love you. And I'm like, I love y'all too. Because truth has no size. Let nobody get you caught up in nothing because it sound good. And so when I tell brothers and sisters, man, we doing some real things here. And we should not just be like, if we Moors and we know a brother like myself, you can go on Moorish haberdasher and get your fez and your turban and your tunics. But then if you know me, you should be able to email me, hit me up, because this is part of our society, and say, Sheik, I need this size, X, Y, boom, 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 hit my address, because you part of the society. So I can have your database and you can get it specifically for me. You'd be like, Sheik, what you had on, I need that, or I need this, why? Because it's part of our society. Yeah, Lamarck, my noble Lamarck said, yeah, we provide the books at our company, mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, those ebooks. But when you connect it to me, once again, I have brothers and sisters that donate, like, say I got one brother that donated $100 a month, and I email him 10 books each month. He was like, man, it's the best thing ever, because his daughter go to school for philosophy of religion at Grand Canyon University, and she's taking African American studies. He said, man, you done opened a whole nother chamber of my daughter. This is my homie. He was like, and he in the fraternity. He said, man, you done opened a whole nother chamber of my daughter. He like, thank you. He like, thank you. You hear me? Thank you. She's an athlete, everything. And she's on it. And she was like, Dad, why you ain't never introduced me to she? Why you ain't tell me she graduated from GCU with a dual master's degree? And he know it. Your daughter's struggling, and then meet me. And then I boom, 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 and bam. The floodgates open. Because I show you it's all about you. When I show you it's all about you, now you can talk about you. All history, if you're going to school for any spiritual history, religious history, anything like that, that's my profession. Now I'm going to pull it all out. Now your teacher's going to be like, whoever you dealing with, can I talk to them? They be asking the students, well, what secret society are you a part of? Like they did with me. I can have my dad come out here right now, he'll tell you. They used to ask me that all the time. And that's how I got introduced to the Philosophical Research Society. And so if we a society, if we a community, everything that you get is part of your religious regalia. Just like if you was a priest and your religious college, like you go to the Christian store and all that. All that's part of your, excuse me, your spiritual house. So all you should be able to get, that's tax exempt. It should be. But your society should be producing it itself. The head should have all that, like I do. I have a company for people that's not part of it when you buy it there, but my muftis, my brothers, is all a part of their spirituality. So they get to claim that. Just like they donations and everything, just like I give them in-kind service. Why? This is a part of our organization. So everything a part of us, the reason why they get it and they purchase it, why? Because they get a tax-exempt receipt. And people don't even understand what I be saying. They be like, well, what do you mean? Well, I be like, man, our money circulate. And so once we get to the millions and millions and trillions, then the money be able to circulate even more. People don't understand that. Why? Because I got everything for our society, and I'm a spiritual head. So a big fraction of what I make on anything, all my muftis know. They be like, oh no, the Sheik doing this with this, what? Everything he said. Why? Because I'm okay with everything. I'm all about community and family. You see where I'm at? I'm out here, man. I'm out here on the deck, back at my parents' ranch. Man, it's like 5 acres all across the back. You gonna start seeing the deers, everything. I'm simple, man. My empress live in Arizona. You know? I ain't tripping. Somebody said, "Can I help you with their trust?" I can help people with anything, but I'm glad people asking questions. But I did a whole lecture of all the trust. The thing I be asking people, because I always tell a person, don't just listen to me. I will educate you on things. The first thing I ask a person, and see, and now, if that's why I say all people, if people were giving donations, I speak freely. The same people be on here all the time. I just give it to you and give it to you and give it to you and give it to you. But I know what I'm saying and what I'm gonna say. People get paid for it, and people get hustled for thousands of dollars of what I can disperse real fast, and I don't even get $20 donation. That's why I said it ain't about no money with me. Why? Because I done did this in academia. So the first thing, I'll give it to you for free. Why? Watch this. First, you got to know what type of trust you want. First, you got to understand what trust is all about. First, you got to understand what trust is all about. First, you got to what you're going to put in the trust. Because a lot of stuff people hear is fugazi. Trust what? What you got life insurance and you want to put it in a certain way to where it won't get taxed. So what we talking about? So I ask a person when they ask me a question, can I help them? Can you help me with that trust? And I'll be like, well, what? And I'll be like, well, it's a plethora of trust. So a person have to understand something. Well, and I ask a person, why would they want an irrevocable trust? Why would you want an irrevocable trust instead of a living trust? You see, because I'm gonna always come back at somebody. Because I think people just be listening to things. You got irrevocable and revocable trust. You got an irrevocable and a revocable trust. So why would you want an irrevocable trust? I always throw it back to people so you can answer your own question. What I'm saying right now costs money. What I'm saying right now costs money. And all I ask people to do is hit me up. Hit me up and give a small donation. I'll speak freely. It ain't about what I prefer. It ain't about what I prefer. Remember, it ain't about what I prefer. With all due respect. With all due respect. I don't tell nobody what to do. I educate people on things. That's why I tell people if they hit me up, then I'll give you scenarios. I'll start breaking scenarios. You wanna control everything but own nothing. You want to control everything but own nothing. I know what you want to do. I mean, but like I said, I do this with my eyes closed. You want to control everything and own nothing. I know that. But what do you have? It ain't no problem. Bro, it ain't, bro. Remember, I'm a teacher. I don't mean no disrespect. You ain't did nothing. You have done nothing wrong, brother. But I don't prefer when I don't give personal advice for myself on here. Thank you, Empress. Thank you, Empress. I don't give personal advice on here because what I might say something and the person might say, well, oh, he said he gonna do this, not, and then a person not knowing, a person's not aptitude level, and they'll be like, well, he's doing that because that fits him. They'd be like, he's doing that because that fits what he have. He's doing that based off the assets, the liquid assets that he may have. Now, the question I would ask, do you have these assets? What do you have to put in this to even go through these things? Because if it's nothing to put in the trust to protect it from the public and you want it private, then we wasting our time. You feel me? Then we wasting our time. So I say, what do you want to take out of a public and put in private? That'd be my next question. What do you want to take out of public and put it in private? A lot of times it be nothing. A person to say, well, damn, I know. And I say, I know. Because it's nothing, it's nothing. See? I know. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying. You say, oh, I have a few and sit on a few 508 boards. I just like the academic convo. Okay. This is what I be saying. So when the person want to do things, I say it's a reason why we do things. I'm here to help people, not to just, with all due respect, not to go back and forth and say, well, this and that. And I'm not saying you, but that's not what I do. A person just asks for help. You know, you say, I don't want my children to lose everything to the courts when I die. Okay, so watch this, Empress. I'm giving you free game. All you got to do is hit a, well, not game. I'm giving you for education purposes only. If you have a will, take everything out of will and put it in the trust that fits you. Because all wills are litigations. Will are third parties. Will is boom. You might have this or this going on, or you might owe something, and boom, boom, boom. Someone might try to sue your estate, and they won't try to touch it when you're alive because they know you're alive. And when you're gone, they try to sue the estate. So if you got a will, that's litigation. So you want to take everything out of will and put it in a certain trust, and it can be done the right way. I don't have to do it for you. You can, if you got a lawyer or an attorney, I can just be the person right there to make sure your paperwork right. So when you're going to do things, you can ask the right questions. Cause I don't tell nobody what to do off the top. I tell people what you're doing. You have this, and then your document, no matter who's doing it, that's what it'll be. It can't, no matter who's doing it. Because I do everything for educational purposes. As a person, have their best interest. Like if you get an attorney and a lawyer, I'll be the person that's there in your best interest as your legal advisor for educational purposes. What? Giving you precedent in law cases, doc number, Free Information Act, telling you everything that happened in these chambers. That's what I'll be doing. I wouldn't be telling you what to do, but I'll be giving you precedent in history and law cases and doc numbers and Free Information Act to be like, well, ask this, because an attorney or your lawyer, whatever, gonna get paid regardless if they win or lose. You see what I'm saying? And so for education purposes only, I'll tell a person to take everything out of will and put it in the trust that fits you. Why? Because the will is litigation. Point blank. So when you say you don't want your children to lose everything to TGE courts when I pass, that'll be a way where you can lose. Look, litigation. So whatever trust you got, you can have it in a living trust, and that's why I always ask people why you don't want to live in trust. Why don't you want to live in trust? Because say if you put it in a certain trust while you alive, and then say, now, what if something really happened? Because you done signed everything over and you can't change things. That's what I tell people. A person got to read everything instead of just listening to a person on social media, instead of just listening to me on social media as well. I'm going to educate you and give you everything for you can make a sound decision that fits you best. Now, I can tell you some generalities, some specifics, just like if you were taking a basic course and I give you some information and say, boom, 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 before you can get some sparks in your head, you can be like, man, this brother helped me. But I don't give legal advice. I'm an ally to say, okay, if you're doing this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And when you do it, ask this, and bam. And that's how you protect you, no matter who's doing it. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like when societies have notaries. You're supposed to, somebody in your society or your spirituality is supposed to be a notary. All these things, when I say can be done in-house, but, and so when these things are done, this is how it can go. I'll do whatever anybody want me to do. I told people, I done this stuff for free. I told y'all, my professor hit me up. He was like, don't do that no more. I was like, what? He was like, man, you done taught a whole class that we teach in 3 months at Clear University. He was laughing though. Listen, cause I got my I got my bachelor's degree from Clear University. In business management with a minor in marketing and sales, a nonprofit business startup. I studied trust law, all that stuff. From Clear University. Yeah. Yeah. I done taught, like, I teach this, like, all over. And, from educational purposes only. So when I graduated, like I tell people, it's a plethora of trusts. It's over 16 trusts. And so when I break it down, I break down which one fits you best. But I tell everybody, do not have a will. If anybody, I don't care who they are, teach you and to get a will, and you get a will, and you think you learned something, but you got a will, and one of your kids that you don't deal with pop out the fugazi when you pass, and then try to sue the estate, man, and you get an attorney, man, them attorneys are going to get paid. People are going to be going to court. You're going to look up, and then them attorneys done ate up all the estate. I'm telling you, because that's what happens. And you know it, and I know it. So I ask people, you better get the right what's for you. And I like me, a lot of people that I know, for educational purposes only, they have living trust. Because while they still in the flesh, they control what they have. And they can change it because it's a living trust. It ain't nothing when you do it and it's set in stone and you can't change things. Because it's some type of trust. Once it's done, it's done. And that's what I tell people. It's a plethora of trust, just like it's a plethora of 50Cs. You got 50C3 1 all the way down to like what, about 10 or 16. But I tell people you got to do what's best for you. It just, I understand it all, and I don't care what nobody say about what I'm doing. They can do whatever they want. A person can do however they want, but I know the reason why I'm set up and why I get donations from my professors and from businesses is because the way I'm set up, and I can give them a tax exempt receipt. So I don't have to. I'm not trying to prove nothing to no one, you know. But this stuff is simple. And I ain't tell nobody what to do and say, oh, take my course for some $1,000 and I can set your trust and give you these trusts and give you a trade line with this in your trust. I ain't did none of that crap. Why? Because why would I? Why would I do that to any people on here? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? That's crazy. You can go to anywhere and get your papers for trust. Yeah, I know. Most people lose in probate. That's why I tell people, most people lose in probate. Why? Because that's how I go. They want you to get in probate. You'll never make it over to the big one. That's why I tell people you got to write for a speedy trial. And then when things not set up the right way, it's public. I'm telling you. That's why most of my European colleagues that's religious, like my Amish homies, they religion trump everything. And everything is in their religious society. They don't own nothing. The church own it. But our people don't be listening. And that's how they be getting all these tax brackets and all this. And when they have companies, they hire their family and their kids. You be thinking of some misnomer Arab got some special law. No, they don't. They understand the laws. We don't understand the laws. We don't have a religious community. We don't own nothing. Everything can be done in a circle. Why? If a person said they want to control everything and own nothing, well, okay, the church can control everything. And you can be what? A stakeholder of the church. The church can be a multi-billion-dollar organization, and the people can work for the church. That's why I be telling us, I said, we don't even be understand. And once we have a religious community, we start buying things in a certain area, and it's a religious community, not only do we own the land, we own the structure that we put on it, because we bought the land first. We buy the land, like I do in my city of Flint when they tear houses down. We buy the land. We buy the land. Now we own the land. Now we put our structure down. Now we put our big cement block down, whatever what you call it, and boom, put those double modular homes, those beautifuls together. Now we have a religious community. This stuff is easy. And everybody know I've done this professional. Now I just gave basic understanding to people that try to charge. I gave it straight up off the dome. I got to get out of here. Anybody got anything else they want to ask? My homeboy said, oh, yeah, thank you for the donation, bro. I appreciate you. Yep. If you want, like I said, I'm always educate you. I never tell you what to do. I never try to tell you to take my course. It ain't no course that you need to take with me. Unless you want to take a college course, or you going to school, or your kid going to school, and I can be your kid ally. It's right when you go, like when you look me up on, what you on, TikTok. What's the handle? No, I don't deal with Cash App at all. I deal with Zelle, I deal with Venmo, and I deal with PayPal. I do not deal with Cash App, but it's on my handle. It's on my page where you see all that. When they say how to donate, all my information is on there. Same way it's on YouTube. Same way if people subscribe to our Temple and School YouTube page, it'd be going down at the bottom. If my Zelle is connected to my office number that I have in my phone, the number I be giving, the stuff be simple. And then I give people a whole documents of trust. I give a person a whole document of all the trust. You'll be like, this brother know all this, how he got all this. And you'll be like, okay, this one fit me. You just don't know which ones that's good for you. You haven't sat down before you talk to someone for you can know a little something. It's just like if one of my emperors in my society, you ain't just gonna go and somebody tell you something. I'm gonna know what's going on for why, for I can ask the right questions. So I'm gonna give you information for you can look over things, or instead of me just telling you or agreeing with you and knowing what you may think you want is not best suit for you. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give you some things to compare to. I'm gonna give you some oranges, some lemons, some apricots, some pears. You know what I mean? And you gonna tell me which one you like. You gonna be like, ooh, all I used to have is peaches, but I had all these, I like all these. And I'm gonna say, well, which one is good for you? This one. Ah. You're gonna be like, aha. Then the light bulb gonna come on. Then the illumination gonna come on. And then what I just did, I just educated you. That's the Holy Spirit. What? The imparting of information. I helped you, helped you. I didn't tell you what to do. I didn't say this is best for you. I said, let's see what's good for you by giving you the information that you're looking for, that you could compare and contrast and say, this is good for me. I've given you a choice, just like I do in history and religion and spiritual history and everything. I show you what's real. And that's how I help. And I ain't charge you a slug. And then if you got a business, I can show you how to set up your own business with your articles of organizations. Show you what Quick 30 accounts is, right? Register you on the Duns and Bradstreet, all for a small donation. So say if you got a computer printing company or you print this and other, and I say, okay, but you don't have your articles of organization. So you're doing everything with your personal money. I'm gonna show you how to set up an account, put some money in that account, apply for certain Quick 30 accounts with certain companies. So if you like, say you print stuff and you got to get print paper and ink cartridges and ink pens and XYZ, right? So you got an account, you might have put 500 or 1,000 or 300, whatever. So if your credit is okay or decent, you're going to springboard your DBA with your EIN that's connected to your business. You're going to hit up Quill, you're going to hit up Uline, those places that sell industrial stuff like toilet paper, pencils, and all that. So you're going to be buying those things every so often because you need them. Right? Because you buy them anyway. But you're going to be getting them under your company name. You're going to be paying them off in 30 days. That's Quick 30s. You're going to be registered on the Duns and Bradstreet. You're going to do that for about 6 to 8, hell, preferably 6 to 8 months. And you're going to see your business line of credit start going through the roof. Then I'm going to show you how to do certain things the right way. And that's how you want to establish yourself. And I ain't hustled you or nothing. I ain't told you to, oh, and I'm going to give you a line of credit, a trade line for $40,000, but this going to cost you $4,000. I can't give you, why would I give you a credit line for $40,000 worth $40,000 for $4,000? Why would I do that? Like, why would I give somebody a trade line worth $40,000 for $4,000? Where they do that at? I'll show you how to set your business up the right way so you can be doing things the right way. How? So you won't get hustled by no one telling you some fugazi stuff that they can't do. I'm telling you everything I can do is help you set yourself up the right way. So if your kids got a business, if you selling something on Instagram or social media and your business ain't set up the right way and it ain't operating on its own entity and you've been in the business for years and eons and you selling stuff, you just hustling. Really, it's tax evasion. Why? Because you mixing it up. And say if you selling stuff and it's connected to your person, or somebody gets sick, now they can sue you personally because you say, I'm the sole priority. And you don't understand, you want your business to be separate from who you are. What do you mean? You might be worth $1 million and your company might not have that. But if you connect you to your company, I'm going to sue you. Why? Because you the one got the bag. You understand what I'm saying? So I always advise people, what? Do things the right way. Don't just be selling things. Just set it up the right way. It don't cost you a lot. All it costs you is your time and a small donation. And if you're part of my society, everything I do, you get a tax-exempt receipt. So why would you want to be a part of a temple? I got a sheik, and all these people say they Moors and they won't help. I ain't telling nobody. I wouldn't tell you to get an LLC. It depends on what you're doing. That's why I said, that's why I tell people I can take it deeper. I always ask people, what are you doing? Or do you might need a corporation. I don't know. You gotta know the difference. Like that's why I say that's when we get to the specifics. And that's when I get to the specifics because I ask a person, what fits you? What are you trying to do? Then I start asking you a whole bunch of questions. I'll be writing it down, getting into the specifics. I will be crafting something specific for you, just like if I was your personal trainer. I'm going to be crafting everything off you. How? Off your eating habits, how you don't intermediate fast, so I know what you're doing. I'm going to peep what you're doing, so I'm going to craft something specifically for you. You see what I'm saying? This how this works. So I always say, what type of business are you doing? Or what are you doing? If you aspiring to do something, Are you aspiring to do something and you're not doing it yet? I would say, okay, well, it's some other ducks in a row that you want to do. And I agree. What, get your business set up on paper first. That's numero uno. I always tell people what, get your business set up on paper, because you would be DBAing. What, you get to understand the wisdom. I teach you what do DBA mean? Doing business as, because most people are not entities. You're doing everything as yourself. What do you mean, Sheik? You're not an entity. So on my plate, it say not for hire because I'm an entity. Most people are not entities. Once you understand this, and once you understand the religious rights, it's a rizap, because you have this right, and the religious laws trump everything. It's no disrespect to no one. It's just a clear understanding. And when we all operating as a certain way, we all can do business with each other. I'll give you an analogy. Just like all rich people, you be like, oh, they donate to this charity. They donate to this charity. Why you think they donate to charities? Why? Because they donate to charities. Why? Because they get the taxes and receipt to claim. And that's how they build their friends organization and this, and that, and the other. But we don't understand it. That's how you see all the organizations and these nonprofit organizations worth millions and billions of dollars. Why? Because all they rich friends having these little luncheons and these meetings, and they spending millions of dollars, and their kids going to the best schools. Why? Because they paying for it, and they laughing at us. And I'm showing us how we can do this stuff. We tax exempt from the federal government, religious, charitable, scientific, educational wise. How? That's how we can build our society. And I can give people tax exempt receipts. It's that simple. And all the help that's a person asking me, like you just did, Empress, about trust funds and all this stuff. You know, right now I just answered everything. If I can get my professor from GCU and that'll teach trust law and what I just taught, he would be like, you just taught everything what I teach in 3 months, and you know it too. I just gave everybody a crash course that fast from scholarship, and anything else I can give a crash course in scholarship. I told y'all my whole family finna be watching what I'm doing. My whole family. I love everybody, but they don't understand about tax exempt status. They don't understand about offsetting what they give Uncle Sam and supporting their religious and charitable contribution of your choice. Because we giving our money to Uncle Sam, and you can be donating to your religious and charitable contribution of your choice, and I can give everybody a tax exempt receipt. And everybody gonna watch me do this. Everybody gonna watch me do this with all my professors, all these people that my friends finna see in the city of Flint. They be like, who are these people with these yarmulkes on Kareem done brought to the city? Why? Because I've been trying to do this with my family. I asked people, I said I need 300 family members and friends to donate just $100 a month. That'll be $360,000 in one calendar year, and I'll buy one of these churches in the city of Flint. Because it used to be 200,000 people in the city of Flint. It's about 70,000 or less. It's churches all over that just sitting. It's churches all over that sitting. And I got people in my family that's religious and all this stuff. And now they just finna watch me. And nobody can say nothing. And I be telling people, I'm like, we can own this stuff. The only thing we own in our neighborhood is what? Our churches, our charter schools. And people, it be falling on deaf ears. Why our people be going to churches, and they part of churches, and they be donating to them churches and get a tax. I don't even know if they do get a tax exempt receipt, but then they talk crap about the pastor when they leave. The kids don't know nothing. And see, I can say more than what I say, but I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. But my mama told me it don't matter. When my mama going through and what I'm telling people, man, I done went through it. I don't got time for none of our people to be playing with us with this false gospel. My dad told me I don't got to hold my tongue. My dad is an elder. My dad 80. My dad is an elder. That's the person that I sit and confine to. So when our brothers and sisters be afraid to teach and be afraid to do things the right way, and I say it ain't gonna cost us nothing, and people go to these churches, and we got this, and we can do this in our own family, because there ain't nobody in our family that done accomplished the things that I've done. I've written 15 books. My mom and my father got all my books. All my professors got all my books. All my European colleagues, Masons, got all my books that I gathered and compiled. I gathered and compiled 15 books. 15. When I was going to school, my professor wanted to buy one of my books and said, "Hey, we don't want you to share this no more." It's a book I gathered and compiled. It's called The Divine Creed of Moorish Islam. I gathered and compiled it from information, and I lectured it on the campus. And my professor, with his Scottish Rite Masons, hit me up. I called my dad now. I was like, "Dad, my professor didn't want to give me 10 bands for my book." No, I live in Arizona. I live in Arizona. I'm just here, helping my parents out. Because, me and my partner got houses. But I live in Arizona with my Empress. I got a whole life in Arizona. Family, most people that follow me, I live in Arizona, man. I've been living in Arizona for like, what, 13 years? But no, I come home all the time because this is where I'm from. I own property. I own property in my city of Flint. You know what I'm saying? But no, I live in Arizona. But the work I do, it allows me to travel and be gone. It allows me to do what I'm doing. No, but no, I wish I did live with my parents though, if I ain't have to pay no damn mortgage and all that stuff and pay for all this stuff. Ah, shoot. With all due respect, no, no, it ain't no problem. Well, actually, I'm not. You ask, and so I definitely understand. You know, but no, I always come home and my parents. Yeah, I wish I could too. And brother, and see, I'm glad you're saying that because that's why I'm here. Like my dad just turned 80. My mother is going through something with right now when I'm assisting, and I just thank the Creator that allowed me to be able to do this. I'm just happy, man, with a lot, man, and blessings to your parents, man. And I hope you find comfort. Your parents is in you, I wish you comfort because I couldn't say how it is to lose. I just understand, and the level that I'm at right now, I understand because when we born, we surely die. I understand. I saw my baby brother was murdered. My baby brother, Akil Jelani Goodman Bey. Everybody used to call us twins. I haven't lost a parent, but I buried my baby brother. My brother that I'm talking about, we looked like twins. Like it was almost like on G.I. Joe when they had those two mercenary twins when they turned blue, and they was from Africa, and people didn't even know they was from Algeria. Like that's how me and my baby brother was, even though we was 4 years apart. You know, but yeah, man. Back to that. It's gonna be. I hope everybody be able to watch what we do because this stuff is not hard, you know, and if this is infrastructure, and so all the information, all of my years of academia, my years of lecturing, you know, setting people business up, dealing with autistic kids, ADHD, lecturing at colleges, I'm gonna provide all this in our temple and school. When people asking for information, I'm going to be able to educate you on it. So when you say if you do want to talk to a lawyer or an attorney on how setting up the certain type of trust, you will have all this information. What? So they won't just be telling you what to do. You will be going in there telling them exactly what you want done. And you'd be like, this done, if that's what you want to do, because you in your certain jurisdiction. I can assist you getting what you want done. How? That's it. And if you're part of my society, all it is a donation because I don't charge nothing. People can ask me things, and I said, when you get in trouble, I said, you're going to get a court attorney, appointed attorney, and tell on yourself, or you're gonna hire an attorney, you're going to tell them what happened. And so I tell everyone, don't you want someone in your best interest that can give you great information, and you can fact check it, and anybody that's in that profession going to be like, whoever you talking to, he done gave you precedent law cases, doc number, Free Information Act. I done gave you all the stuff to look for things and be able to be matter factual. They're going to know whoever you're dealing with is matter factual. Because I ain't telling you what to do. I'm going to tell you have to tell me the truth. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you, you in trouble. I'll give you an analogy. If one of my mufti was on here, he'll tell you. It was a situation where a person was getting jumped and they wanted some advice, and my sheikh said for educational purposes only. for educational purposes only. So he was telling me the scenario how somebody was getting jumped by some girls, and boom, 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 and she ran back to the car and got the busing, and somebody got, whatever. And I said, oh, they in trouble. I said, they hit. And he was like, what you mean? I said, because you had the opportunity to get in your car and leave. You came back. You thought about it. You had all the time to know that it's not a good idea. So you went back and did it. So you thought about it. So that's a form of premeditation. Why? Because you thought about what you was doing. From when you got jumped, you was able to go and leave. It was broke up, boom, boom. You go back to your car. You come back, you run, you busting. That's a wrap. The whole thing is over. So you went and got and came back. You went and got and came back, not on your person. Because, certain places you can stand your ground. So when everybody says like, yo, it was over, boom, then they ran to their whip and got that and got that shoestring and got the tiny shoestring. You know what I'm talking about? You hit. So I do everything for educational purposes only. Then I give a person a precedent law case in the same jurisdiction or the same area to show the same scenario, what happened, to show you in the same city or jurisdiction or whatever, in the same chambers, and show you what had happened. You know? You say you was able to get away and came back. You wasn't scared. What you mean, Empress? Scared of what? I don't know what you say. What? Being in my city of Flint, you was able to get away and came back. You wasn't scared. Is that what you asking me? Cause I always come home. I come home all the time because I got business here, and I deal with the youth. I have a youth a mentor program called Ascend Mentor Ministries in my city of Flint. So we building it, and we trying to deal with crime and drugs and prevention and help the young boys be a part of something. So I'm trying to jump in that because it's some guys in Pontiac that I know that got out of prison and they got their own thing. And so I'm trying to build some here in my city of Flint, but I always come home. I always come home lecturing at my professor church because he's a potentate at a Jew. So I always come home all the time. I always come home to help my parents. And my Empress, her parents stay where her dad live in the city of Flint. So we always come here. And me and my Empress own a property together, so I'm always coming home, because home is home, home is home. Yep, home is home. But with that being said, man, thank y'all. But if y'all serious of what y'all trying to do, if you want to learn a little bit more, if you want to be a part of what we got going on, you're more than welcome. If y'all want to come check out the land, maybe we'll schedule for people that want to come and look at the land and see where it's at. It'll be cool. If you was able to get away from danger in the eyes of the jurors, if you go back, you're not scared. I ain't talking about me or doing nothing. I don't understand that question. I ain't did nothing crazy. I was giving an example of something. We say, if you was able to get away from the danger in the eyes of the jurors, if you go back, you not scared. I don't get that. You said if you was able to get away. Okay. Oh, now, okay, I know what you're saying. In the eyes of the jurors, if you go back, you not scared. Exactly. I'm sorry, I took your words out of context. It wasn't no parentheses or a question mark in there, so I'm reading it all together. You know what I mean? I'm a stickler like that, but I'm sorry. But absolutely, you saying if you was able to get away from danger, exactly, because that person did get away from danger. I agree. In the eyes of the jurors, yes, if you go back, you are not scared of what? That situation that just went down. Exactly. So that situation that went down, exactly, you coming back, why? Because now you got that shoestring. Because if you was all messed up, you gone. But you come back and do that. So yeah, absolutely. And then it's just so much. I can go on and on with this, but I'm not because I done taught this. It's a certain thing we call pig Latin and juristhenia. When the person say not guilty, now you done got into an arena. Well, now you got to prove. It's just way more than what I can say. Well, not what I can say. I just don't have time to do it. I've done this over and over and over and over, but a lot of our people don't understand words. I'm telling you, they don't understand anything, when it comes down to words when it comes down to proclaiming and understanding. That's why we can't walk out the house in synchronicity. Why? Because religion is messing us up. It's content. Everybody still is operating on some man-made religion thing. And I'd be like, dude, we can't do that. It's bigger than all that. If we're willing to be educated, it's bigger than this. Because if we understand that we are people, our nationality and our spirituality means something. We're not trying to convert no one or tell nobody to do nothing. If you understand, then fine. So now it's a bigger picture. If you understand that you're not a NBC, and then I show you that those type of people will never get reparations, identifying to that. And if I show you that that was never, BLACK was never used in ethnicity, you know, and I tell you in law that is civiliter mortis, meaning dead in the eyes of the law, why will we deal with this? Because we're not educated on this. And BLACK people have no rights in the courts of law. These is facts. All that other stuff is meaningless. I tell you, I can get you caught up real fast. Why? Not understanding everything in its entirety. When you don't understand everything in its entirety, you'll get caught up in caps. Well, my name in all caps, this mean this, and I'll say, well, state your name for the record. This how I get you. You say, well, that's my name in caps, and say your name, Michael Bivens. And you say, my name in all caps, and for the record, that ain't me. You come with all this. I say, okay, well, state your name for the record. You say Michael Bivens. And I say, you understand all this on this? Yep. And I say, sign your name. And you sign your name, and you say Michael Bivens. And I say, is this your name on this paper? Yep. Say, state your name for the record, Michael Bivens. So I write your name and say, is this your name? You say Michael Bivens. I hold up in front of the court. Do you believe the name Michael Bivens? I'll play you, and I say, it's written in lower cases. Is this Michael Bivens? I'll write in caps. This how I get you. You will say, yep, Michael Bivens. I got you. I can lock you up for 72 hours for contempt of court. Done. You out of here. You out of here. You out of here. You out of here. Just like that. And now we'll lock you up and I'll make you a bill, say some money, $1,000. No, I'll make it 10,000. $1,000. You don't even got it. I be holding people up like that. There's all these things that I've seen. And I'll be like, oh man, no. And I'm telling people, like, we done lost our marbles. You know? And that's why I say a lot of families not gonna have nothing, because we don't support nothing. And when we have a mission, and I'm just saying this, and I gotta go. When I graduated from Grand Canyon University, all my European colleagues that were from Denver, Colorado, and from Missouri, they went back home to their neighborhoods, and they was priests and rabbis and ministers, and they came back home and they did that in their neighborhoods, in their communities, because they family and they families and the community sent them there to get their education. So all of them was telling me, like, well, I know you ready to go back to Flint where the water messed up. And, you know, because we talk. And I say, man, we was colleagues. We was there for years studying. Hey, we went to the Grand Canyons and saw all of the Egyptian monuments. But a long story short, it's like the expect level that you would get when you from the people. The expect level that I thought I was going to get. I thought I was going to be able to come back to my city of Flint and be able to resurrect my people. All the brothers and sisters that thought they wanted to be Masons and Easter Stars, and I got my own charter, I thought I'd be able to come clear it up. But what happened is my European colleagues accept me more than my people. Why? Because our people the one that subjugated us. It's like Carter G. Woodson said. He said the miseducation of the Negro is who? Our preachers and our teachers. That's what Carter G. Woodson said. Now here it is. I went to academia and I'm just like Bobby Hemmett. I'm just like C. Freeman L. I'm just like Dr. Ben. I'm just like Dr. John Henry Clark. I'm just like Sheikh Anta Diop. I'm just like Dr. Francis Croft Wilson, Amos Wilson. I'm like our scholars. And I'm from academia, and I'm from the city, and I got my own charter. Why wouldn't I be your brother? Why wouldn't I be your ally? Tell me why wouldn't I be your ally? And Empress, I just walked you through talking about trust. I ain't charge you. I ain't say this do this. I ain't do this. Say, oh, hit me up and take my course. I ain't do that. I said, well, I usually get a donation for this. And I talk freely. And then I said, I'll email you a whole information of all the trust, and you can make a sound decision. And then I want you to look at what a living trust really consists of. And then you see what that consists of. While you have a living trust, then you'll be able to control what you have while you in the flesh. You will be able to control things because you're a living trust. You don't want to sign away things or sign something in stone when you're still in the flesh. Why? Because you might change your mind. Understand what I'm saying? Or other assets can be added. Of course, if you get assets, but you want to have the ability to do these things. You want to have the ability to say, yep, or and now you might, feelings might change, relationships might change. You might want to go ahead and say, nope, this ain't happening because it's a living trust. Understand what I'm saying? And then it got to be some type of asset. It got to be something tangible. We ain't finna waste our time. And then I say, well, what you doing? Do you got a life, a life trust over someone's life, and you want to protect that from what, taxes? Then it's a way to do that. It's a type of trust for that as well. You see what I'm saying? It's a type of trust for spouse. It's a type of trust for certain specific things. I'm gonna give you the information for you can look at it all. Why? Because this is what I've done, and I have it all, and I teach it, and this is part of my community. And all people got to do is give donations, and everybody can get a taxes and receipt. If people was really serious, we'll have a temple and school in our library, and people can come to. Every January, we have our big convention celebrating the prophet birthday. We getting ready to go to Puerto Rico in January and celebrate the prophet birthday with all my muftis. We going to the old San Juan. I'm gonna take them to the slave ports. Yeah. So all this, what I'm talking about, comes with our society. The same way the Jewish churches is. Now we a community. Now the money that we're giving to Uncle Sam is actually is doing something, and our money's circulating, and we can see it. And we don't have to make other people rich. Like, Jeff B.A., that person that can sell all our items for cheap. And instead of people dealing with their brother, they sheik. It's just like you want a hamburger from McDonald's or getting it from your brother that's cooked it. You should want it cooked for me. And it's part of our society. And it can be drawn up a certain way as tax status because it's part of our community. Our religious society, that's tax exempt for the federal government. Lawfully. So I hope my brothers and sisters, y'all understand what I'm saying. I hope my family and friends, man, I really, really hope y'all start understanding because we're getting ready to do some amazing things in my city of Flint. We have our brick and mortar, and then people, I'm still accept everybody. And I'm not trying to prove nobody wrong. I'm trying to prove people right, that what we can do with the money we giving away. I'm trying to show people how can you be a minister or a so-called preacher in my family and you don't talk to me. And I'm a real educator, and I'm a real sheep. How? How can a person in my family or anybody be under science and religion and they know I'm educated, anointed, and consecrated in this, and we don't have converse, and people don't support their own family and give donations? How? Just like my mom and my dad said, they said you could talk about anything because I was saving that. My mom was like, well, son, but now, like I said, what's going on, like the creator is doing things and moving, man, to me, it's disrespectful. And that's why I said family don't respect the people in their family that's really do this. We respect others. And the people that you helping don't even care 75 cents about you. And this is what I'm telling us. That's why I say us as men, we have too much testosterone. That's how I know the Holy Spirit is not working in a lot of men. Why? Because it's ego. We are party and BS, but then here's the person that you know anointed and consecrated in your family that gathered and compiled 15 books and you ain't got one. You ain't bought one. This is what I be telling us when people say, well, this, and that, and the other. We celebrate other people. We buy all these religious books from people, but your own family member done this. Your own family member is anointed, consecrated, and scholar. Your own family member graduated with a dual master's degree. And what he talking about? Your own family member. Your own family member got a business degree. And what he talking about? Your own family member, you can Google him right now. What? Minister Khari Goodman, Pastor Khari Goodman, Sheikh Khari Goodman. Just do a Google search and see what pops up. Nobody else in my family you can pull that up. Nobody. And then here it is, the other man, I'm their teacher, I'm Melchizedek. Why ain't that with my family? Why ain't that with my cousins, my nieces, my aunties, my family husbands and all that? And I got people in my family that's ministers and part of churches. Why? What gospel you teaching different? You see? Why we can't have our own? Why our family can't support our own? What's different from me and them? When it comes down to supporting, and we family, and everybody know I'm gonna do way more for our community and for the kids than any organization or church you going to. Because if you go to a church right now, you can't tell me nothing that your church doing. If anybody on here go to church, and then if my family go to church on here, you ain't got to tell me, because I know the church ain't doing nothing. Because you ain't even got to tell me. I know most people went to seminary. With all due respect, you ain't got to tell me. You ain't got to tell me. So that means you limited. Just like your dojo, all your master do, or your teacher, or your sensei, is teach you how to kia, American karate. Doing them American forms. Hiya, and hiya, and hiya, and hiya. It's like, man, go sit down with that crap. You understand what I'm saying? Not understanding language, etymology, not understanding parable, analogy, symbology. The Bible, you ask any brother that went to, anybody on here that went to a seminary, I bet you they ain't learned analogy, parable, symbology, and metaphors. I bet you they didn't. I guarantee you they didn't. Because if they did, they wouldn't be celebrating all these pagan holidays that they celebrate. They wouldn't. They wouldn't be saying Merry Christmas on social media all the time. Because in Jeremiah chapter 10, it tell you stop following the Nicolaitans, following Saint Nick. And if everybody do it, they this or that or that. And then they say, well, that's a pagan thing. Well, what you think the Nicolaitan was doing? Smart guy? What you think the Nicolaitan was doing, getting the Christmas tree, getting the tree, cutting it down, fastening it, putting gold and silver? What do you think the Nicolaitans was doing, sir? You done lost. That's what I be telling people. When you just celebrated, you talk about the solar solstice, he risen. I don't understand that. That's fertility, man. It's to convert people. You see? So when people be saying, "Oh, I went to seminary with their chest out," I'll be like, "Oh, so?" You're not going to teach truth. You're not going to teach the esoteric science. You can't connect to the Bible and the Quran. You act like one is different. That's how I know it's a joke. Abraham or Abraham, the same. Anaseph and Joseph. I mean, what are we talking about? That's why I be saying Carter G. Woodson told us it's the miseducation of the NEGRO. It's our preachers and our teachers. Because don't nobody on here go to no WHITE church, or your kid don't go to no Catholic school. And a lot of the Catholic schools be teaching the kids the truth. It be this other stuff, our own people. And Carter G. Woodson told you that's the miseducation of the NEGRO. Because our brothers that look like us would preach some of the most outlandish stuff. Our brothers that went to seminary would get up there and teach the same thing that they Big Mama and them taught. What? That SLAVE gospel. That slave gospel. Oh, when you die, ain't nobody went to no heaven. That's the state of being. But all our people in our family, they preaching that same gospel and polyparroting, hacking. You would be in the church singing some Amazing Grace. Man, you know that's a song from a person that was a slave master. And you singing some Amazing Grace. Talk about it's a church song. In the church. You singing Amazing Grace. Y'all see what I'm talking about? When I come with real stuff, when I come with science, when I say, man, we done lost our marbles. You can't be mad at me. I say, it ain't nobody else, ain't no other man doing this. It's our preachers and our teachers that'll come and straight come with some fugazi. I'll give you another analogy. Ask a preacher, I forget the chapter, but it say in Matthew, I said it say in Matthew, that might be it. It's fulfilled, it's for finished. We're not under the law no more. And then you ask the preacher what that mean. And then I guarantee you, they're gonna tell you some of the most outlandish stuff you ever heard in your hippocampus. She said yes, because see, stuff that's fly, I don't got to have nothing written down, because I do this. I was a minister in all the churches in Flint, 2 big ones. So ask them, what do that mean? It's some Christian preachers on here. Ask them. Ask them. Ask them. Say, what do that mean? What do that word fulfill mean in that context? What she Goodman Bay talk about? Ask them. If they tell the truth, bravo. If they make something up, I would say, I told you. Because you can't make nothing up. You can't make nothing up. So I guarantee you, they all of them will get it wrong. 100 of them will get it RWRONG every time. I guarantee you. When it say it's fulfilled, it's finished, we're not under the law no more. What do that mean? What do that word fulfill mean? Watch this. Then they'll get the and when I think, ain't nobody ask you what you think. Ain't nobody ask you what you think. I said, what do that mean? Break it down for me. Break it down, because you don't know the language. Because the scripture must mean the same thing yesterday and today forevermore. Break down the science of what that's saying. You can't. I'll wait for any Christian preacher on here that can act like they know, because I know you don't know. And then I can break down the whole biblical scripture from the front to the back and illuminate everything, and you'll be like, I never saw that. I never saw that. I never saw that. I never saw that. I know you haven't. So once again, they can't even tell you what that means. And then the ones that's Masons, they really ain't gonna tell you. Because in the Bible, it tells you who murdered Hiram Abiff. They ain't gonna tell you that. So once again, what does that word fulfill mean for all my Christian preachers that'll get up there and be hacking and spitting? That word is a Greek word called Pelero. Pleero. It's a Greek word meaning to magnify and bring back to his remembrance, because people was teaching false doctrine. The same way they did yesterday is the same way they do today. You see how simple this is? This stuff ain't hard. This stuff ain't hard. I already done this work. That's why I be saying, man, our old people will get up there and just talk out the side of their neck. I like that ain't scripture. That ain't science. That's some stuff you made up. Just like when people say, well, money is the root of all evil. And then I break down Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19. Wine is made for laughter, but money trumps all. What do you mean? You tell me. You tell me. You read Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19, and you tell me what it say. When you want to act like money is the root to all evil, no, you evil. And when you get some money, you're going to do some evil stuff. That's cap. You give me Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19, and you tell me what it say. Because I already know. Man, we ain't finna let nobody not tell us money is messed up and they use it for power, so we just gonna be out here begging. That ain't how we pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and we taxes in for the federal government. That's how we rock. As a religious community, as spiritual, and understand the language. So until then, man, I love y'all, and I told y'all, it ain't nobody else that's doing nothing to us. It's not. We gotta stop doing that. Our own preachers and teachers won't tell us. They don't even know. Just like when they always talk about some man stuff, and watch me break this drip down. All y'all gotta do is research Mommy Waters. Research Mommy Waters. You know? Mommy Waters, the Sibyls, what the Catholic Church have hidden. Research Mommy Waters, the Sibyls. And then the spaceship that just went to the sky, Artemis, that's one of the African goddesses, Artemis. And in a lot of the museums, they changed it and whitewashed it. And when you read in the Bible, I forget. I don't know what the Deuteronomy. It'll come to me. I got it. It'll come to my head. But in the biblical scripture, Paul was going to colonize those indigenous people because they prayed to Artemis, and he came and caused a war. He was trying to come colonize the people. I'm telling you, and people don't understand it. And the Catholic Church know it. The Catholic Church, they're trying to say, oh, Artemis is some pagan. So here it is, somebody coming to tell you to try to say, no, their God is better than yours. And they made the spaceship of Artemis. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. I illuminate the whole biblical scripture and make these people sit on their hands because y'all don't really know what's going on. You don't see it. But I taught this. I lecture this. I open it all up and be like, wait a minute, Sheik. Yeah. Everybody ain't no Hebrew Israelite. It's a whole bunch of people in the Bible. Amorites, Amalekites. When I break stuff down, when I say, okay, well, who are these individuals that came to Canaanite land and messed all these people up that was in their land, and to these people, God, they said to come and slaughter them. Was it brother on brother crime? So based off your God, you come and destroy all these people. So they weren't going to destroy nobody. You was going from African nation to African nation, destroying your own people. Based off your God. That's why I be laughing at these brothers. I be like, man, I ain't got time for that. I don't have. How you a Hebrew and you don't even study Hebrew? You calling a false name. You call it Greek mythology, Jesus and all this. I said, dude, that's Greek mythology. That's Greek mythology. You call it, and John said this. Like, man, please. You coming from a whole misconception, and none of that stuff is scholarship. That stuff can be illuminated in 1.3 seconds. Done. Fuji dust. So I love y'all, man, but I told y'all, our people lost due to a lack of knowledge because our own preachers and teachers are steady leading us into a burning house. The most of them are Masons and Eastern Stars and Greek fraternities, with all due respect. And a lot of them went to seminary. They can be mad all of with me if they want to. Don't make me no difference. Makes me no difference. Because I know most of these people are trained to do what? Not to understand nothing. How can you be a teacher and preacher and you don't understand analogy, parable, and symbology and metaphors of what? How you don't understand that? How? How you don't understand that? How? How you don't understand dispensations? How you don't understand what I'm saying? How could you be in disagreeing with anything I'm saying? Why would God be jealous of himself? And I say, well, in the biblical scriptures, it was many gods. When I show certain things and I said, okay, so who are these people that come to a place and these people already got their gods, aka the Zodiacus, and say that all you do, all your stuff ain't no good. And then when I show you Mami Watas, the Sibyls, what the Catholic Church has hidden, and then you research the god Artemis, now what? Now you got to start asking questions. Yes, you still ain't open your brain? You still ain't seen this? Stuff is written in codes in the biblical scripture. You still ain't seen this. How? You still ain't seen it. That's why I be laughing. I say, man, my people lost due to a lack of knowledge because we refuse to learn. You can't have birth without the woman. You can't have birth without the woman. The Sophia is the counterpart of wisdom. Just like when I talk about the so-called Baphomet with the Cole Volta. People don't even understand why, because they lost due to a lack of knowledge, and we're not teaching this, and that's why our people are on their knees. That's why our babies don't know nothing, and that's why our preachers and teachers are going to be continue to preach this gospel that's still on your knees, and we still can't stand up or rise with all our extremities attached. Why? Because we got these preachers that's teaching this DEAD gospel. That's why they teaching the dead gospel. It's not life. It's not life. None of them. None of them. I don't care why, because you got to listen to what they saying. That's old. That's colonizer gospel, and they know it. That's Eurocentric and Negrocentric propaganda gospel. That's dead gospel. Because they telling you everything is outside yourself. And when you go to heaven, and ain't nobody went to heaven and told you, hey, what heaven? And the biblical scriptures, God ain't tell, Jesus ain't tell you to praise him. That's why I be saying, like, what are we doing? I'm asking people, what are we doing? Hold on, man. I got to get out of here. I've been going for 2 hours, man. I can do this all day. But what are we doing? When people go to church and then you talk about you getting the Holy Ghost and the Bible said, ain't nobody told you to act like no goofball running around here. The Bible says if there ain't no interpreter for nobody, you confusing people in the church, that's for you and God. And that ain't no language. Because when the Holy Spirit fell at Cornelius' house at Caesarea, that they understood in their language. And this is what I be telling people. This is court jester stuff. And we falling for it. And it's no infrastructure. I'm showing y'all that everything that they showing you is not real. I'm showing you what these religious do. They always talk about the color stuff, the WHITE man, and that we ain't got no problem with that. Anybody can hate you based off what? How you grew up. That's a condition. We ain't operating on that. We ain't wasting no time and no brain cells on nobody else. We operating on who we are. We building our infrastructure. We building our nation in our nation. We loving on our people. I'm showing everybody how to set these things up. That's part of our nation where you don't have to go out and get hustled by some charlatan or some guru on the internet. Why? Because I just showed a person in a couple seconds to do the thing the right way. And when people part of what I'm doing, I teach this freely, privately on Zoom, privately. And everything a person asking and that need, they'll be like, well, the brother give it. Why? Because we part of the society. So I'm out of here, man. I love y'all. Thanks for y'all support. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.